Now, one woman has written into an agony column with a dilemma we can probably all relate to a little bit. She says she's fed up of her husband giving her the silent treatment when they disagree. Now, Janet, you're not known for being silent for very long. Is it a tactic you've ever used in an argument?
I do. Well, I do use it, but then I never argue. By the end of the day, I always go, yeah, let's make up. I can't go to bed arguing. And that's because my parents had ferocious arguments, and then we had days of cold shoulder, but the worst part of their arguments was my mother would just disappear. She'd just go out of the door and go, and I subsequently found years later that she was staying with another relative. And then as she'd magically disappeared, about 4 days later, she'd reappear. And
did she ever explain why she'd gone or explain to you?
No, they hated each other's guts, I think. I think it was normal with quite a few marriages that happened, you know, immediately after the last war.
It's obviously not affected you, but you remember it vividly.
Oh,
so
yes, definitely affected me.
The feeling lingers with you,
I don't like being in an environment where people are not speaking and there's that atmosphere. It makes me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if I have a row, I'm afraid it can't go on for very long. I just can't cope with it because I definitely think it impacts on you, and it definitely impacted on my sister, who walked out just as my mother had done. One day she decided to leave home and she walked out, and she was about 12 or 13 years old, and it was 3 days before they found her.
Gosh.
So, yeah.
It does pass it up. How are you, Brenda? Would you
I'm
find yourself...
I'm a quiet person. I don't like arguments. And so I have been known to be silent. I'll just be silent if there's... I don't like to have arguments in the house.
Rather than the blast of voice.
Yeah, and so I'll stay silent. But of late, I've kind of changed that, and I've found that if you stay silent, then what happens is you have another argument, and whatever happened then, it comes up in that argument. And so I'm like, well, where did that come from? Why didn't you deal with that before? So I think I'm now moving over to not being so silent and just trying to deal with it as it comes head on, because it just causes too much problems.
Does that mean you have to say sorry all the time, though, to end it? Because I say that now, I just do a lot of sorries.
No.
Sprinkle a lot of sorries in the air and try and put your face in the right meaning it face.
Janet, but how do I know you're being sincere? Janet! So, no.
Sorry, Brenda.
Oh my God!
What about you, Christine?
Well, I don't like the silent treatment because it is... I can't contain myself. I just need to get it out. So I'm not very good at it. But if I were to do the silent treatment, 10 minutes in, I'm thinking, oh, but I want to talk about that. And I want to do this. And so it just doesn't work for me at all. So, and like you, Janet, I just don't like arguments with anybody. I just don't like it. It makes you feel horrible. I don't get anything from it. I think some people get fired up by good old arguments.
There's only so many times you can load the dishwasher in an angry, silent way.
Yeah, exactly.
Slam every plate in, and you think, I don't want to slam it too hard because I'll be replacing it. And then you bang the door and put it on the long, noisy cycle. So
no, but what I did now is I get drawers that are soft-closing, so you go to smash them and they go...
you can't even have a row with a
the drawers give you the silent treatment.
Have you ever given Frank the silent treatment?
I sort of try to, but like I say, occasionally I will do. But then something comes into my head and go, oh, I really want to figure that out. I need to plan that.
Christine, what about the times when you started the row and then it's gone on, you've had silence, and you think, what were we actually rowing about?
Yeah. I can't even remember what the beginning of it was. It was so insignificant. And when you look back over your years together, you think, well, I can't remember anything.
But like you, Janet, now that I don't do the silent treatment because, like you, I'm very direct, and I was brought up in a family where you kind of argue and then you settle it down. But now that I've got children, I don't think it's good for them to see silent treatment. So they always see Mummy and Daddy kind of perhaps having a little bit of a ding-dong, and then I'll say, oh, I'm sorry, Daddy, and we go and hug so that we can sort of see them. And you can see him going... Yes, I love you too, Mummy. And he's like, he just knows that he's doing it for the kids.
I love the fact you call each other Mummy and Daddy.
I do. Is that weird?
No.
Yes. Oh, well, let's have a debate about that. But I go, where's Daddy? Daddy, are you kind of... You know, it's like, what am I doing?
You're laughing at me with the insincere sorry, and you're doing Mummy, Daddy.
I love it.
I feel slightly nauseous.
Yeah, we're all guilty of it.
Daddy.
Don't worry.